Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, now close your eyes and imagine a world exactly like this. Complete darkness. You are unable to see anything. Not your friend's face, not a flower, not a sunset, nothing. Now open your eyes. What you imagined is the all-time reality of people with blindness, particularly corneal blindness. Simply put, cornea is the outermost layer of the eye. It's the thin, transparent layer or the skin of the eye through which all the light from outside enters into your eye. It then gets focused onto the retina, the signal goes to the brain, and you see things. Without a clear and strong cornea, one's vision is compromised. Now, the cornea can get damaged due to a variety of reasons, including injury, infections, drug reactions, dystrophies, nutrition deficiencies, and so on. Take the case of Ashok, a 22-year-old guy. He was walking next to a construction site when chuna or calcium hydroxide, it fell on his face and eyes, leading to chemical injury. He lost his vision. He was actually training to become a pilot. Rashmi, a 12-year-old girl, she lost her eyesight because of persistent infection leading to corneal scarring. She has a whole life ahead of her. You see, corneal blindness is a global challenge. There are millions of people like them who are suffering from complete corneal blindness and many more affected in one eye. But then thankfully, corneal transplant from a human donor has emerged as a remarkably mature medical procedure over the past few decades, particularly successful here in India. In a corneal transplant, essentially you surgically remove the damaged or the opaque, diseased part of the cornea and then replace it with a clear, transparent cornea taken from a donated eye. In India alone, 70,000-80,000 people and more regain their eyesight because of corneal transplants. But then, the availability of donor corneas or donated eyes is not equal across the world. There are some places in the world where there is abundance of donated eyes. There are some places, some countries in the world, maybe you'll have to wait for weeks and maybe years. And there are other parts of the world wherein the concept of corneal transplant doesn't exist. It's not just awareness and willingness to donate eyes. It's the infrastructure, logistics about collection, storage, transport. You need high quality transplant surgeons, medical staff, hospitals. It's a complicated scenario. But then, what if we can grow our own cornea? Remove the cornea which is damaged and opaque, and then grow your own cornea. Wouldn't that be nice? So nature itself shows that regeneration is not, it's not just possible, it's actually common. You would have seen lizards regrowing their tails, starfishes their arms, even humans, we regenerate parts of our skin, liver, and lungs, and so forth. But then, how can we regenerate a cornea? How can we, make it transparent? How can we make it, a new cornea and allow light to enter and regain the vision? With this, particular question, with this, idea, my friend Tuhin and a cornea transplant surgeon, our mentor, Dr. Sangwan, we started working on this. We became, obsessed with this and how to kind of regrow your cornea, how to, help the body to, unlock its potential, right? So working for several years and years after, a lot of research, many failures, successes, iterations, and so on, we have bioengineered a liquid cornea. So liquid cornea is a agentic hydrogel. So essentially, you remove the diseased or the damaged part of the cornea. Instead of putting a donor cornea, you put this hydrogel, and then you shine light, it solidifies, it integrates into the tissue. It actually acts as a scaffold. It's an agentic scaffold because it orchestrates the various myriad of molecular cellular processes which help in the tissue growing back. So essentially cells from the surrounding, they migrate in, they start kind of secreting various things and you get a new cornea. So it's a new living functional tissue and it's your own cornea. Isn't that great? So for example, Ashok, Rashmi, they would be able to see again, they'll be able to enjoy life as we take it for granted. It's not just regrowing the cornea, it's actually, changing lives or transforming lives actually. But then you would wonder, what if you can regenerate a cornea, right? So what else can you do? What else can be done? So I wouldn't mind growing a tail, but then think of a torn cartilage, that can repair itself, or lungs and heart that feel like they are in their teens. So we are actually moving away from fixing the problems of the body to unlocking the body's innate potential. We are actually starting to learn and speak the language of regeneration. And the conversation has just begun. Thank you.